students, today we are going to discuss hymns to Agni from Rig Veda. We are going to understand, interpret the birth of Agni, his significance, how Agni is a priest and Grihapati. Let us look at the introduction to Rig Veda in the beginning. The Rig Veda is a collection of more than 1000 hymns containing the mythology of the Hindu gods. There are totally 4 Vedas which are considered to be one of the foundations of the Hindu religion, the oldest being Rig Veda. The Samaveda stands for knowledge of chants or hymns recited at sacrifices. The Yajur Veda stands for knowledge of rites or to know how to make sacrifices. The final one, that is Atharva Veda, represents the knowledge. Vedas were first written in Vedic, an early form of Sanskrit. They have been passed on for many generations, and around 300 BC, the Vedas were written in the form that we have them today. The Rig Veda was said to have been written by the Aryans who entered the Indus Valley at the end of the Harappan civilization between 1300 and 1000 BC during the Aryan migrations. But there were also evidences that there might have been the influence of Harappan culture on these works. One can evidently know that the Vedas were actually developed before the Aryans arrived, that is around 2000 BC. Rig Veda contains more than 1000 hymns written in poetic form directed to the gods, the content including praises, blessings, sacrifices and curses. These hymns were used by the Aryans in praise of their gods. The powers of nature were personified, which forms a major subject of the hymns. When the words in the hymns are chanted, the worshipper is transformed into another state of mind. The theology of the Vedas was later developed in the Upanishads. At the end of the Vedas, a gist of the philosophy of the Vedas was provided by the Hindu Brahmins. Thus, Upanishads became a standard basis of Hinduism. Indian society was primarily given shape with a religion that sprang forth from the Vedas. For instance, the Rig Veda and Vedic literature were used in the caste system and its development. The Rig Veda describes how the god Purusha sacrificed himself. We will be learning very soon how each piece of his body formed into different parts of society. While each part of society has had its own role, it is still a single body. Of many Vedic texts, the Rig Veda appears to be the most fundamental to Indian thought. Rig Veda was composed between 1500 and 1000 BC, when the world was just a watery chaos. No existence of heaven and life could get impetus from a warm cosmic breath, and everything looked chaotic. The entire process is shrouded in mystery. Neither death nor immortality was present. There was no difference between day or night. There was darkness everywhere in the beginning. This was something like an indistinguishable sea. Then something was born through the power of heat. It was like a strong desire that arose. Impregnators and powers were also found. There was inherent power and impulse too. No one truly knew when it had arisen. Even gods are subsequent to the creation of what has come into existence. He is in the highest heaven and is its surveyor whether it was made or not. Agni, the god of fire, is the common word for fire. He is often compared to animals, with wood for his food and melted butter for his drink, and is the mouth by which the gods consume those items when a sacrifice is offered. He is born from wood when two sticks are rubbed against each other. He is a lord of the house and is a guest in human residences in the form of domestic fire. One of the latest compositions found in the Rig Veda is a sort of pantheistic philosophy. The cosmic giant is Purusha. He is the object of the sacrifice to the gods. Purusha is 1,000-headed, 1,000-eyed and 1,000-footed. He covered the earth on all its sides and stood above it with the width of 10 fingers. Purusha is the lord of immortals and who grows by means of ritual food. His greatness is magnanimous. He is magnificent and words cannot describe him. 1/4 of him is all beings and the rest is the immortal in heaven. The shining one was born from him and from here the Purusha was born. He was the sacrifice of the sacrifice. From that sacrifice, the mantras, the Rig Veda and the songs, Samaveda and the meters, the Yajurveda were born. Horses, cows, goats and sheep were born from him. His mouth was the Brahman, his arms were the Kshatriya, his thighs the Vaishya, and from his feet the Sudra was born. The moon took birth from his mind and sun from his eye. His mouth gave birth to both Indra and Agni, and finally from his breath was born Vayu, the wind. From his navel the Ari arose and the heaven evolved from his head. From his feet the earth and from his ear 4 directions were born. They ruled the world from then. His altar sticks were 7. The gods, while performing the sacrifice, bound the beast Purusha. They sacrificed the sacrifice to the sacrifice. These were the first rites. Here lies the power where the ancient demigods and the gods dwell. The Vedic god of fire presides over the earth. With Vayu and Indra, he presides over the air and sky and is one of the supreme gods in the Rig Veda. He is associated with sacrifices and is a standard link between heaven and earth. He is a messenger who takes offerings to the other world in the fire. Ram is his vehicle. Rig Veda, the most ancient, sacred and hallowed scripture, tells us of Indra, the lord of the gods, the most powerful of the cosmic gods. Next to him stands Agni. But above 200 verses were offered to Agni in the Rig Veda. Agni is said to be the first of the cosmic gods to be invoked, and our Hindu scriptures start with Agni and not with Indra. Various tales are told of Agni's origin or birth. He is said to be a son of Diyas and Prithvi. He is called the son of Brahma and also named Abhimanyu. He is considered one among the children of Kasyapa and Aditi and hence one of the Adityas. He is later described as a son of Angiras, the king of Pitri, father of mankind. Pictures portray him as a red man having 3 legs and 7 arms with dark eyes, eyebrows and hair. He rides on a ram, that is his vehicle. He wears a poita, Brahmanical thread and a garland of fruit. Flames of fire rush from his mouth and 7 streams of glory radiate from his body. Everyone has one's own way of realizing God. Interestingly, it is described by the Vedic sages that they have seen Agni with 2 faces and a burning tongue. But the real Agni in his Nitya Rupa or the eternal form will appear in normal human form with 2 arms, 2 legs and so on for a seeker. He looks tall and very handsome. Rig Veda tells of Agni thus in its first shloka. Agni mile purohitam yajnasya devam rutvijam hotaram ratnadatamam. Meaning, I adore the fire, the priest of sacrifice with truth as its luminous vibrations, the mighty warrior and the bestower of delight. The fire of enthusiasm is invoked herewith with the gateway to higher knowledge. Fire is a slayer of the demon of lethargy and bestower of delight. He is the one who most bestows the divine wealth upon us. He is the one who establishes the jewel of ecstasy, the inner wealth, the nectar. Sloka 2. Agnihi purve birshirbiyoh nutanairuta sahadevan ayiha vaksati. Meaning, that Agni who is worthy to be praised with the sages of ancient and modern times gathers gods here. Now let us listen to the next sloka. Agnina rasmisnavat poshameva dive dive yasasam veeravattamam. Meaning of the sloka in English as follows. One gets lot of wealth that increases day by day. One gets name and fame and the best progeny with the divine blessings of Agni alone. Now let us listen to the next hymn, that is the 4th sloka. Agneyam yajnamadvaram visvataha paribhurasi saiddeveshu gacchati. Let us understand the meaning in English. O Agni, the non-violent sacrifices are surrounded by you on all sides. All these sacrifices indeed reach to the gods. Let us listen to the next sloka. Agnihi hota kavikratuhu satyaschitra sravatsamaha devye devebiragamat. The meaning is as follows. May Agni, the sacrifice, the one who possesses immense wisdom. Let us listen to the next sloka. Yadangadasushe Tvamagne Badram Karishyasi Tane Tatsatyamangiraha. The meaning, O Agni, your essence is present in whatever good you do and whatever possessions you bestow upon the worshipper, O Angiras. Let us move on to the next sloka, the 7th one. Upatvagne dive dive doshavatsardiyavayam namo barantame masihi. O Agni, the dispeller of darkness, you are the illuminer indeed. We approach you with a strong willingness and devotion day by day while bearing obeisance. Let us listen to the next sloka, that is sloka number 8. Rajantamadvaranam gopamrutasya didivam vardamanam sedame. You are the protector of non-injuring sacrifices. Who grows in your dwelling, standing for the brightness and image of truth? We approach you for your divine blessings. Let us move on to the next sloka, that is sloka number 9. Sanaha piteva sunave agne supayano bhava sachasyanaha swastaye. O Agni, be easily accessible to us like a father is to his son. O Agni, be easily accessible to us like a father to his son. Abide us for our well-being. Jataveda and Kravyada are the two forms of Agni. Jataveda is invoked to burn and carry the offerings except flesh to the respective gods. Kravyada is invoked to burn the flesh like the corpses and animal parts. The god of fire, Agni, plays a role as a divine model for the sacrifice made and is a priest in the Jata Veda. He acts as the messenger between gods and man who carries the oblation from humans to the gods, thus bringing the gods to the place of sacrifice. Thus Agni intercedes between gods and humans. If Agni is pleased, gods turn to be generous to the worshippers. Thus, Agni along with Soma is invoked in the Rig Veda more than any other god and represents the cultivated, cooked and cultured aspects of the Vedic rituals. Even in Ayurveda, hunger is described to be fire. The ancient science describes digestion as a sacred fire. God Agni is personified and consumes our food in the belly and transmutes it into the elements of the body, mind and spirit. The condition of the digestive fire tells us of the health of our entire being. In Indian tradition, it is said that food is offered to the divine power with utmost humility and reverence with gratitude before consuming it. The food itself is understood to be sacred practice of which always nourishes the soul as well as the body. Agni is the priest who prays in three different ways. He prays on behalf of us, of the earth consciousness, and is the one who bestows the divine wealth upon us. He resembles a minister in the church. He is like a spiritual master who enters into the ignorance of his disciples and carries it up to the highest, and then he bestows God's peace, light and bliss on him. Indian myth says that Agni was born in heaven and on earth as well. The message of his birth was brought down to earth by the cosmic messenger Matariswan, who was none other than Agni himself in disguise. Two sticks were rubbed together and the god Agni took birth magically. In case of human beings, the child does not devour the parents, but in case of Agni, myth says that he devoured his aged parents as soon as he was born. The reason for this also exists according to Puranas, which says that his parents, who were symbolic representatives of ignorance, imperfection, bondage, obscurity and other non-divine things present on earth, were devoured by Agni. Puranas say that Agni has 7 arms in the form of a swastika, meaning a symbol with good luck, prosperity and success. The esoteric significance of the swastika is inner progress, achievement and inner fulfillment. History tells us that the symbol has been used in East and West by some spiritual organizations such as the Theosophical Society as part of their emblem. One of the hymns of Rig Veda runs as follows about Agni. O Agni, O God of fire, lead us along the right path and let us enjoy the fruits of our divine deeds. O God, take us away from our binding sense and destroy them. We offer our teeming salutations and prayers to you. Our heart aspires through the right path. Your compassion is the genuine guidance. We shall be blessed with the fruits of our divine deeds, which are peace, light and bliss. The second verse in the Rig Veda tells us that Agni is loved by all, irrespective of age. He is worshipped by the ancient sages and even by the new born seekers. Agni is the household god in the way that Agni fulfills the desires in the family. He is called Grihapati or Grihaswami, the lord of the house. At the same time, he is guest of the house too. the sages felt that there was no end to their thirst for knowledge, and Agni is the only answer to their aspiration. Likewise, they could learn that the flame of aspiration could be kindled by Agni alone. While achieving our highest realization, we need to strike with this philosophy. Agni is never old, but is reborn every day. He appears early in the morning when we kindle the flame of aspiration. He then is the most ancient god and first priest, as mentioned in the Rig Veda, as follows. O flame, master, strengthen hidden in. You gather all people around you and bind them together. You burn bright in the highest place of revelation. You thus bless us all the riches. Rig Veda says that Agni is divine realization for all. He is immortal. Men quiver at his mighty deeds. He is the one who formed the sun and heaven with stars. He is all ears to the invocations addressed to him. When worshipped soulfully, Agni blesses us with wealth and healthy life. He watches those who bring him food and nourishes him with oblations. He is treated as guardian of immortality. Agni is asked to warm the immortal part of the dead in a funeral hymn. His pious deed is that he carries the celestial to the world of the righteous. He carries it across calamities as a ship over the sea. Vasishtha, Indra and other gods have been attributed in a celebrated hymn of the Rig Veda and were called upon to destroy the Kravyats, the flesh eaters or the demons, the enemies of gods. Agni himself is a Kravyat, and he, in common with other gods, is called upon to devour. He has two sharp iron tusks which are used to devour the enemies. The edges of his weapon are heated and Agni pierces them into the hearts of Rakshasas. In the epic Mahabharata, Agni is described to have exhausted his power by devouring too many offerings and desiring to consume the whole Kandava forest in order to recruit her strength. Indra prevented him from doing this in the beginning, but Agni could get the assistance of Krishna and Arjuna and baffled Indra, thus accomplishing his object. In Ramayana, Vishnu incarnated as Rama. Agni was the father of Neela by a monkey mother. Vishnu Purana says that he married Swaha, by whom he had three sons, Pravaka, Pavamana and Suchi. Agni has many names. Brihaspati and Brahmanaspati are regarded identical with Agni. Yam Bath in his work, The Religions of India, regarded these names to be one and the same deity and said that in reality, when the god and priest pronounce the mantras becoming Brahmanaspati at the very moment, it gives them power over the things of heaven and earth. Rig Veda says that the fire of the altar is one with the lightning and the other with the sun. It is the most mysterious element until the very end of the Vedic age. The Agni is the real Agni of the Rig Veda. Agni and Indra, also called as Soma, are indispensable pair and are both the slayers of the demons. Rig Veda considers Agni as the most important god which occupies prominent and first place in each family hymn book. He is mysterious and a mediator between God and man, carrying the offerings to heaven. He is of a threefold unity of earth, atmosphere and heaven. According to the interpretations of the modern ritualists, the Hindu ritual teaches every orthodox believer to keep up the three fires. These forms of Agni are well described in the Rig Veda. Hope you all enjoyed understanding and learning about Agni, his birth, his significance, and his presence in all our households and in all the deeds that we perform every day. Thank you.